All right, let's get on to mid-season grades for this team. We'll start with the forwards, and we'll work our way down. I'm on cap friendly here, so I'll go from the top, which would be the highest paid guy, down. So it's not like I'm doing it in any particular order. So, do you guys do your grades? You guys?
I did my grades.
You got your report cards ready?
I found out that my report card was due 45 minutes ago, but
well, how long do you need?
I need more time than that to digest some of this stuff.
Well, take a little more time then.
No, I'll deal. I just don't know how much I'm going to like my grades or look back on my grades and say that I was correct.
Well, you know what?
I didn't have proper time to get my list to go.
And I don't think it was 45 minutes ago. It was about 2 hours ago.
Well, we've been on the show for an hour, so yeah, it was 45 minutes before airtime. Let's put it that way. Sorry.
You know what? Just for fact checking purposes, I'm going to go back and just double check because I don't know that I agree with that. Let's see here.
Gio, we are going to mid-season report cards today.
8:34.
What time did we get on? Sorry, it's an hour and a half notice.
There you go. All right. Jeff Skinner, gentlemen. Craig, we'll start with you since Gio didn't have enough time.
Start with Gio. I was just
Craig's not ready. Craig didn't have enough time.
Skinner for me. I'll give him a B-, and I give him that because of where he was the last year and a half. Super improved from that point forward. He is production-wise, 14 goals, 10 assists, 24 points in 37 games. I think the most shots on the team, roughly. So he's doing things. Now, $9 million doesn't warrant 14 goals at this point in the season. $9 million does not.
So we're
points.
obviously in the rankings. Just to clarify, moving forward, we are adding salary.
No,
to what the production is.
My overall. I'm taking the overall of everything about the player, his role on the team,
and his salary.
It's part of it.
You know what, Rivet? Take his points out of it. I mean,
the salary is part of it. Now, I don't think Jeff Skinner. Listen, he's produced. He's produced way better. He's produced way more than he has in the past. They've gotten way more out of him. With that being said, he's not a driver of your team. He's your highest paid player at $9 million, and I don't think he drives your team. Do you think Jeff Skinner drives this team?
No, I do not.
And I'm not holding his salary against him.
We're adding salaries into this, then we're gonna have things that are the marking grade is going to be way different. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I took salary into account specifically for Skinner because even if he's not scoring, when players aren't scoring, there are other intangibles that they can bring to a game that might not justify their high salary, but it might ease the pain on what they're making for their lack of production. And to me, I think a B- is generous because he might be great at the one end of the rink near the net and finishing. I mean, the goals that he scored against Nashville, beautiful, whatever. But to be quite honest with you, I know Jeff Skinner's a nice guy. I know he's his teammates like him. But I will say that when you have a player making $9 million, and whether he's scoring or not, there are still other areas of the game that you want him to excel at. And he doesn't. He doesn't. And that makes it hard. That makes it hard to truly love that guy because, oh my God, he's putting up goals. Yeah, but there are other things, Craig, and just as well as Gio, that there are other things that players can do that can raise their stock and make them more valuable to a team. And I thought B- is, I gave him a B because he is on a decent goal pace, but I don't love his game. I don't love Jeff Skinner's game, period. I mean, that's it.
You got him, Thompson, Okposo, all basically at the same points. And Okposo, you can say $6 million, but like Petey says, intangibles.
Works his ass off.
Intangibles. Well, he works, and he's a leader in that room.
Yes.
He's a veteran guy that you need in that room.
I have
You
no
need
problem.
him in your room. So
I would never hold Oposo's salary against him. I never would.
No, and for his 7 goals, you can say, oh, Skinner has double his goals. He does. I don't know. It's hard because I don't know Skinner in that room, and I would never bash a guy. What I'm saying is Okposo brings more to the table for the team than a Skinner at $9 million at the same point production.
What do you have for Kyle Okposo right now?
I have him as a B+.
That's exactly what I have for him.
Okay.
What do you have, Craig? No, we're jumping ahead here. What's your grade for Skinner? No, Craig moved us forward by asking about Okposo. What do you have for him?
Let's start with Skinner. He's our first guy. I have him as a B. I think he's had a solid season, a better season than he's had in the last number of years. I think when I watch Jeff Skinner, his work ethic is elevated from what I've seen in the past 2 years, which has been abysmal. But that's because of the horse shit coaching that he got from Ralph Kruger, which was a bloody disgrace. I literally for 2 years said that, how is it even friggin' possible that you're putting this guy on the fourth line? He makes $9 million. He's one of the top goal scorers in the last number of years. And he's playing with like 2 fourth-line hockey players. How are you getting the output from this guy? Jeff Skinner was put in a very bad position for years. Now he has played much better. He's been put in the roles to succeed. He's on a pace for over 30 goals this year. Is the team winning? No, but the team is so green and youthful, and we don't even have all our players in the lineup. Casey Middlestat is a huge loss, even though he has not produced on a consistent basis throughout his career. He was in the line for a breakout year, a big year. Okay. He's got crazy talent. We need that player back in this lineup. That being said, I think Jeff Skinner has played very solid for this team under the circumstances. Okay. I think that he's, at 14 goals, 24 points. It's okay. He's -6, but I would expect those numbers playing on a bottom 5 team in the National Hockey League. So I think for the most part, Jeff Skinner has had a very solid season. I'll give him a B. Before we talked about his salary situation, I would have given him a B+.
Interesting. What about Gio? Did you give your grade for Okposo? You said B.
Yeah, I did, a B+. So I give Skinner, he's a B- in my book, just above average. He's doing way better than he has. He's having a decent year on a struggling team. But that's what Jeff Skinner has done his whole career. How many playoff games?
0. He's minus what? 100?
He's been a good player on below average teams.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that's why he's a B-.
Jeff Skinner.
How many games has he played? He's fallen into the old Ole Jokinen potential.
He's played 810 career games.
How many? We got to look at how many.
What's his plus minus
in his career?
-135.
Yeah.
In his career.
That's.
I'm not bashing Skinner. He's having he's having the year that you want him to have rebounding. He's got as many goals as he had points last year. You know what I mean? And
is Jeff Skinner tradable if he scores 30 this year?
I think if he does it this year and he comes out of the gates next year and midway point next year, he's on pace again for 30, then I think he becomes how many more years does he have left?
Well, after that, he would have 1, 2, 3, 4 more years at $9 million. And I think we've heard ownership and management say about carrying dead salary, which you can only move him. You can only move him by maxing out the salary retention, which is 50%. That's how you make him sexy and appealing to another team.
Well, but I mean, you might be able to find the right desperate team in the right situation if he has a year and a half that you think he's back on track, right? So I think he's certainly more tradable mid this point next year. If he's at the point he's at now and he had 30 goals this year, he's certainly starting to get into conversation with teams that might kick the tires on him.
Rather than Kyle Oposo, give us your grade. And we can't talk like this about every player. We're going to be on this thing till 4:00.
Listen, we're gonna get through the top 5. And then it's going to be like, yeah, they're not coming back. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. Like, I mean, so
but even the guys that aren't coming back still deserve a grade. Like, I'm
going to get a grade. They'll get a grade.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll spend some time on Olofsson.
Maybe you should have started at the bottom. We'd probably already be at guy number 12.
Wait, let's stay focused. What are we on? Oposo? I got a B+.
Oposo, Rip, give us your grade. I got a B+. You have a B.
I have a B.
Okay.
I think he, for the first time, and again, a long time, Kyle Oposo should have been used in the position that he is in now 3 years ago. 3 years ago when he came to our team and we signed him for $6 million and we're asking him to come and help, produce offense. He had, he was on pace for 20 goals every season, 40, 45 to 50 points. Every season. He should have been continued, but he got stuck and he's playing on the 4th line. Ralph Kruger decides that he's going to be a 4th line guy.
All right.
Ridiculous.
All right. Let's not.
Kyle Oposo is a B. He's played very solid. He just like I have Jeff Skinner at a B. Jeff Skinner has scored 14 goals this year. His intangibles that he brings are pretty much 0. Where Kyle Oposo has 7 goals, does not have the same output offensively, goal scoring wise, but he brings intangibles to the game. Yeah. He's more physical. He can kill penalties, and he's unbelievable in the dressing room.
Yeah, he's got one less point than Skinner, and 20.
And he's played
22 less shots. So he's certainly influencing the game just as much as Jeff Skinner. And then you add on all the great intangibles for him.
Next in line here, we got Alex Tuch, too small sample size to give him a grade. I mean,
no, we got to give him a grade.
In 7 games, I got him as an A. 7 points, 7 games. Big influence on the team, +3.
I have him as a B+.
Good salary.
The salary is insane. He might be one of the better contracts in the National Hockey League. He's 6'4". He's 220 pounds. He skates exceptionally well. I still believe, and I told you this, Petey, I don't think that he's 100% fully back to what Alex Tuch is and can do. Okay. Even though he's come back and he's played, I don't think that we're getting exactly what we're going to get in the future. I think there's another gear to his game. I think there's another pace to his game. Right now, he is not. You see in certain shifts, you are literally taken back with his strength, power, and speed, and his skill set. But I'm not seeing it on a regular basis. And I think that right now, when you come back from a knee injury, everybody's had one. I think everybody's had one. Yeah. It just takes time. Even when you come back, you're not 100%. You're not 100%. Next season, Alex Tuch's going to be 100%. And I'm going to tell you right now, he is going to be flying. He already looks great. He already has 7 points in 7 games. Great. But I'm going to tell you right now, my level
and he lost a goal to an offside the other night, and I think he lost. He almost had he should have had an assist for basically, I don't know who the guy was against Detroit, but like tossing some guy off the puck and then just throwing it in front of the net, and they end up scoring. I mean, he doesn't get an assist on that play either. I mean, it's incredible what a difference it is. I mean, we haven't seen a hockey player like him here in a few years.
We haven't seen a right winger that can skate like him, that has his size, that has his hockey IQ. He's a power play guy. You can play him in every situation on the ice. He is going to eat minutes offensively. He's big, fast, and strong. He's awesome. I'm giving him a B plus because I'm not going to give him an A because I still think that I don't think that the Buffalo Sabres fans have seen the full potential of Alex Tuch yet. But he looks great. He's a completely different player for this team. It's unbelievable to watch. And I just look at the success that he has on a line right now and how that's gelling. And then all of a sudden you got to add Tage Thompson and a Casey Middlestat together as a line. And all of a sudden you're sitting there, you're perking up going, holy shit, because now we're going to have two offensive lines that's going to be producing. And then you think of like the Quinns, the Peterkas, the Krebs, they're all kids. They're literally kids. They're 20 years old and 19 years old. So Awesome direction. That's where I'm at with him. Who's next?
Probably your favorite. Next in salary here is a one Victor Olofsson, Craig. He hasn't scored since last year, is it?
Yeah, I mean he's been he's had a tough time. I think that's I think it's been 22 games since he's scored his last goal. Listen, I mean he's a point producer. You know, since he's come into the National Hockey League, he has produced points. Okay. You know, he's an interesting player because he does skate very well. He does shoot the puck exceptionally well. But again, he has what intangibles does he bring if he's not scoring on the power play or producing 5-on-5 points? He's not hitting. He doesn't forecheck. He's not a great defender. He's not blocking shots. He's not asking the physical element to the game. Like, I mean, he is a player that's just very skilled. And where does he fit in your top six? Is he in your top six? You know, moving forward.
He needs to be in your top six, that type of player.
Okay.
I don't you have Alex Tuch. Moving forward, you got Skinner, Thompson, Tuch, Cousins, and like you said,
Middlestat.
Go down Middlestat.
So there's your top five guys for next year offensively. You have Skinner, Middlestat, Tuch, Thompson, and Cousins.
And that's none of the guys in the minors.
And
that may be ready. You know what I mean? That's not your Quinns, your Krebs,
we could have an all rookie line next year. I'm going to tell you this. You could see right now in the minors, is Peterka, Krebs, and Quinn, did they not play as a line?
I can't confirm that. I got Olofsson as a D.
I have him as a C minus.
Gio's got him for a C minus. What do you got for him, Riv?
I had him
October 31st was his last goal, it looks like.
Yeah.
October 31st.
According to the game logs. But
I mean, I have him as a C, but you know, I could be talked into lower. I just think that you have to understand in today's game, today is about speed and skill, and hockey IQ are essential to be able to play. But we have to understand that there are intangibles that certain players really need to have to be able to be puzzle pieces to a winning recipe. You can't just have skill. You have to have certain players that play different styles of hockey. Okay. And right now, Victor Olofsson is struggling to find his game because if he is not scoring or relying on Jack Eichel, he is in a situation where it's going to be a lot tougher because he has to do a lot more on his own. He's not a forechecker. He hasn't laid a body check the entire year. There's a reason why it's been 22 games that he has not scored a goal, because he doesn't go to the front of the net. And 80% of all goals are scored within what? 10 feet of the net, Gio? 8 feet?
Yeah.
It's either through a shot, a deflection, or a rebound. And he's not anywhere near that position of the ice. You have to get to the tough areas.
One thing maybe maybe here. Maybe we're being a little hard. So he had 5 goals in the first, 8 games. And then injury sets in.
Yeah.
Is there something to be said that he's not anywhere near 100%? Because since then, since the injury, he has not scored a goal. Since October 31st and then to November 21st was his injury from games,
yep.
And
but I'll say this
scored a goal. He has not scored a goal since that October 31st.
But I'll say this to you, even when he was playing last year, the knock on Victor Olofsson was he was not creating 5-on-5. With his skill set, he should be creating a lot more. He should be tougher to play against.
How come you have a different mindset of Jeff Skinner and Victor Olofsson?
Because Jeff Skinner's scoring. Jeff
Skinner's
producing.
This year?
Okay, Jeff Skinner last year, he should have been sent to the moon, but he was also playing for a coach that had him on the 4th line with 2 guys that were
and Olofsson was given every chance with that coach to score, and he did. They're the same skill perimeter type player that
Jeff Skinner is a guy
are what they are. They are the player they are.
They score differently. Jeff Skinner is in front of the net. Jeff Skinner is a little rat type player that's in front of the net, looking for rebounds, looking for small area plays. I don't mind how he scores the goals. I like that. You have Victor Olofsson, who is literally on the outside of the perimeter, looking to open himself up for a one-timer shot from the outside. Yep. And they're different players. I don't like the way Jeff Skinner plays. But when he's scoring, he's a very useful hockey player. He's playing with a lot more confidence. He's got a lot more jam in his game. He's working a lot harder to track pucks. Victor Olofsson literally looks like he's playing shinny hockey. He looks like he's on the outdoor rink where he's kind of working sometimes, but he's always on the outside.
You could have said that about Skinner the last year and a half. That's my point.
No, because Jeff Skinner was not
has no confidence
to succeed.
Olofsson has no confidence right now. He was hurt. He hasn't scored in 20-something games, so he's mind fucking himself. I'm just saying we have to treat them the same. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so let's try to find some reasons why Olofsson, let's get him back on track. I think he can be extremely useful if you get him back on track.
I like the benefit of the doubt.
Can I ask you a question?
I like the benefit of the doubt that you're trying to squash the big man over there, Tim Allen.
I'm just arguing. I'm just arguing with Rivs today.
No, I appreciate because the worst thing you can do is look at small sample sizes of players and then get down on them and then look to move them because they're going through a tough time. This environment right now in Buffalo is a work in progress and it's not easy. Right. And, I look at Victor Olofsson. I think he's extremely skilled and something that maybe next year he could be on a line with a Krebs and Quinn. Maybe that's a line. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to. I think you try to deal him at the deadline. To be honest with you, I mean he's 1 year.
One more at 3.
Yeah, he's got 1 more at $3 million. Actually, no. This is
he's done this year.
He's done this year, but he's done this year. He's done this year. Okay, moving on. Let's get through these ones too, and then we'll get to our all-star defensemen and some of the other guys here in the lineup. So let's do some. Try to do as rapid fire as possible. Cody Eakin. Craig, we'll start with you. Cody Eakin.
This is his last year. He's an unrestricted free agent next year. He's 30 years old. He will be moved at the deadline.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you for his grade.
I mean,
we're doing mid-season reports, not who's coming back here. Let's stick to the script.
Shouldn't be coming back, and I'll give him a C.
Okay, Riv gives him a C. Gio,
I had a B-.
Yeah,
he's the type of player that every team needs. He's not going to be flashy. He's not going to put up a ton of points. He is what he is. He's going to go out there, win faceoffs, kill penalties, and create energy. For me, he's not far off of what he should be.
I'm not going to go and penalize a guy for his grade because he's on a bad team. I like your grade, Gio. Anders Bjork.
D.
I had a C-. For the tools that he has, I played with him in Boston. He leaves you wanting more right now, right? Like, love the guy, but
where's he playing right now? Where's he playing in the lineup?
It's
if he's not on a top 2 line and given an opportunity to play an offensive hockey game, then he should not be on your 3rd or 4th line. That's just you're wasting, I think, an opportunity for a different style of player that I think is going to be more beneficial to your lineup.
Has he been given that chance? That's the question. Then your grade can adjust to that. Go, Hinostroza.
No, I don't know if he's been given. He had a nice scoring chance last night, though. I was kind of hoping he would have buried that for his own morale.
Yeah.
But, maybe that's a confidence thing right now. Vinny Hinostroza. Gio, we'll start with you.
I got him as a B+. Not expecting much out of him. I mean, you got $1 million salary, 17 points. I don't mind. That's why I give him where I gave him.
I have him as a C+. Hinostroza came in this year and he's trying to solidify himself as a NHL player. Someone that can be in the league for years to come. He was given an opportunity here in Buffalo for the first part of the year where he's played a lot. He's played a lot and has been put online with players that are in an offensive role. I think he's done a nice job. 8 goals, 17 points in 36 games. It's solid. But again, for me, it's about upgrading what we have. Okay. Next year, we're going to have a right winger that's going to be Alex Tuck. The other right winger most likely is going to be one of Thompson or Cousins. Okay. Because one of those guys is going to have to play right wing.
Well, Jack Quinn.
And Jack Quinn's the other one. So there's no room for Vinny Hinostroza next year.
That's fine, but I'm not taking that into his grade right now. Like what he's doing for the team and whatnot, that's what I'm taking, whether he's here or not, whether he has the same role moving forward or not. That's different than what he's been able to do to help this team currently.
And you gave him a what?
I gave him a B+.
Okay, that's insanely too high.
Insanely
too high.
Okay, so
I gave him a C.
If he's
I gave him a C+.
C's average, is he average to you?
Yes, he's extremely average to me. Because I'm not ranking.
I think he's a little above average for
what? For what
team.
he's doing on Buffalo? I'm not looking for what he's doing on Buffalo. I want to build a winner.
I'm disagree with you.
I'm going to rank him for what I believe and what I've seen through teams that are coming through Buffalo, and where does he rank in overall right wingers on their teams?
Yeah,
I think he's had a solid season. I think he's easy as all hell to play against. He's not a big guy. I mean, he's easy for me to play against. That's just my opinion. He's had an okay season.
Tage Thompson. Unless, Gio, you have a counter argument to what he's saying.
No, I have nothing.
Tage Thompson.
I have him.
Let me start with this one.
Go with it.
I'm giving him an A. I'm giving this guy an A. Started at center. You know, he's absolutely blew everybody away with his production. I know he's been hurt, but I mean, this is not a year that we thought we would see from Tage Thompson, not these kinds of numbers. And, you know, I'm so happy for this kid. Unbelievable salary for what he's doing. 24 points, 36 games, 12 goals. You know, I don't care about the plus minus. You know, the team's losing. So it's, you know, I don't really care. I'm giving Tage Thompson an A. I love this kid. And I think he's really blossomed into a real big future piece for this team.
I have him at A-. A lot of the same reasons. as things started to kind of hit the bad parts of the season where they weren't doing well, he was the bright spot, right? He showed up, he worked, he influenced the game. He's done everything that you've wanted from him, and probably even more, because this is a player you thought he could be, and at times the last couple of years you didn't see the light, and now you're starting to see the light. So I see A- out of him all day, and the only reason it's an A- is because you're still on a losing team, I guess. It's, you know what I mean? But
Craig, anything less than an A or A-, or you put him in the B, you're just a flat out Richard.
Okay, moving on. Who's our next guy that we're going to talk about?
What do
listen,
you?
No, listen. Go ahead. Let's talk about our next guy then.
No,
you don't want. If you don't want me to give you my opinion on Tage Thompson,
of course we do.
I'm going to tell you right now. You need to shut your pie hole, because I have been the biggest Tage Thompson supporter in Buffalo in the last number of years. Have I not?
What's your grade? What's your grade then?
No, I'm not giving you my goddamn grade.
What's your grade?
I'm giving him a B+. What? Yeah. You want to know why? All the reasons that you just said, Gio. The guy has elevated his game to an incredible level. Okay. He has been put in a position where he's taking a different role on this team, leadership wise too. Okay. Number 3, he has been put in a position to play center, which he has not played in I don't know how many years. Okay.
You're arguing for us right now.
I'm not done
I still
yet.
don't see the reason why you got him in the B.
Sounds like your grades
Sounds like you're
up.
straight A+.
No. The way you guys are marking right now, it is what you want. Okay. That's your opinion. What I'm saying right now is Tage Thompson is playing at the highest level, and it's a level that we've all wanted. Okay. He's taken a bigger position role wise. He's on the power play. He's on at the end of games. He is taking big draws. There's everything. But I'm going to tell you right now, the number one supporter for Tage Thompson in the last 3 years has been this guy right here. And I'm going to tell you this. I think there's more for him to give.
Trying to figure out your damn point here.
I'm going to tell you this.
The whole audience is trying to figure out your point too.
I think there's more for Tage Thompson.
No doubt there's more. He's young.
Okay.
We're talking about right now.
Not young.
Of course
he's young. He's 24 years old. Okay.
That's not young.
That's mid-level in this age, in this era.
Hold on, let me.
24 years old is a mid-level hockey player,
mid-aged hockey player.
I think right now I think he's had a fantastic season, but I'm going to tell you this: I think Tage Thompson has even more for us.
He's played 181 games.
I can't figure you out, man.
Kid,
I can't
talk
figure
about
you
young.
out.
181 games, man.
Let me tell you
he hasn't played more than 65 games in a year. 41, 65, 1, 38, 36.
Hang on here,
and you're saying he's middle-aged. 181 games.
So, Riv, can we agree that we've moved you up to an A?
No, I'm not moving him to an A.
Stubbornness prevails again.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, in order to be an A on my list, you're going to have to be exceptional.
Okay. I think he's been pretty damn exceptional.
You think he's been exceptional?
Yeah,
I think he's elevated his game to a level that every single fan here in Buffalo is looking at this young man going, we have an absolute no-brainer stud. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm not giving him an A unless he can play an entire season. And at the end of the year, if I'm looking at Tage Thompson with the same points and maybe a little bit more, and he's at 80 games played this year and has 28 goals and 58 points, then that man deserves an A.
Well, you're not going to.
Right now, I'm not giving him an A because I want him to work for it. That's just me. Tage Thompson's going to be listening to the after the whistle, and he's going to be like, oh, I got to work for my A from Rivet. No, but I'm going to tell you this. I love his game. I love how far he's come. He's still working with things to get better and to be consistent each and every game. I love Tage Thompson. Been a huge supporter.
He's
but
starting
I'm not
to use his body more too.
Reward him. Reward him with your grade.
Use his body.
Listen,
more.
Reward him with your grade.
Someone got
and then downgrade it. If he has a bad second half, you downgrade. If he has a better second half, you keep him at the same.
I gave him the highest grade.
Where he's
the highest grade in the team.
Where he's at this point. At this point,
gave him the highest grade
and then
on the team.
Sorry, Gio had him as an A-. I'm writing these down so that we can remember these going forward. So, Craig, if you're giving him a B+, you're not going to like my next grade. Dylan Cousins. This is the last guy that we can spend an extended amount of time on, okay? And then we're gonna rip through him, unless there's anybody that you want to carve. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why we'll stop.
Not here to carve anybody.
Listen. Dylan Cousins turns 21 on February 9th. He's got 18 points in 36 games. I'm giving him an A. I've loved this kid's effort. I've loved his work ethic. I love his effort. I love what he's going to be for us for the future. I don't even know that he's going to be a first or second line centerman on this team in years to come, but I will say that I love how hard he works. Every game he plays his ass off. He might not get the results. Sometimes he gets bumped around. There was the game against Detroit. He got knocked off the puck rather easily, but that's youth, and that'll come. But I'm giving him an A, and I don't really care what you have to say, but carry on.
Ribs, you want it?
I've got a B-. I think he's been solid. He is a young player. He's getting better. 9 goals, 18 points. He's a -12. He's been playing against some of the best players on every single team. He's playing against the Sidney Crosbys. He's playing against the Ovechkins. He's taking on a lot, and he's done well. He's done well. But right now, there's still areas in his game that he needs to continue to improve. In order to be higher up in my rankings, he has to produce more offense for this hockey team. And he's had a solid season. This is going to be his first full season in the National Hockey League. I think he's played well. I think he's on the right path. But for me, I think there's a lot more that we're going to get from Dylan Cousins as he continues to mature as a young man in this league. So I'm going to give him a B- because I think that there's a lot more for him to give.
I think he's got a chance centering Tuck and Skinner there too. With he had a goal and an assist last night as well. Go ahead, Gio. What do you think?
I had him at a B. So if I got C as average, he's above average. He's doing exactly what you want from a young guy like that. He's got tough matchups. He's got games that he's up to his head in tough matchups, and he's doing a good job. Like he's doing exactly what you want from him. That's why I give him a B, is because that's a good grade. He's doing exactly what you'd want for a young guy coming through. I know he's got more,
and by
you can't
giving
hold it against him. You can't hold it against him because he's young and he's going to grow.
Yes, I am. I am absolutely going to hold that against him, because I'm going to tell you right now, in 2 years from now, when I go and look at Dylan Cousins and I grade him, I'm going to be grading him as the same player, and he's going to continue to improve his development, his knowledge of the game, who he's playing against. I think he's going to be stronger on pucks. He's going to be faster. He's going to be smarter. He is going to, those 9 goals and 18 points in 36 games might be 14 goals and 30 points in 36 games in 2 years from now. He is going to continue, and that level, that B- I'm giving him, is going to be either a B+ or an A, because he is matured as a player. I'm marking him hard. I'm marking him very, very hard.
I get it, but you're punishing a guy.
I'm not punishing him.
No,
I'm not punishing him.
You're holding it against him. Where he's at right now is how he should be graded. The type of player he is,
yes,
his role on the team, he should be graded as that now. He should not be graded what he is in 3
projected
years.
to be.
because Tage Thompson 3 years ago didn't have the same role on the team. So if he was, if
I gave Tage Thompson a B plus 2 years ago, he would have been a C minus.
Well, what I'm saying is you have to take into consideration what he is for your team right now. The roles he's put in, the positions he's put in, the role that he has within the team,
what's average?
Whether he's doing it or not.
What's
whether
average?
He's doing it or not.
Average is a C.
Yeah.
Above that is a C plus. Above that is a B minus.
Yeah,
I think that there's more. I think Dylan Cousins has more to give.
Yeah,
a lot more.
You give him a B minus?
Yes.
Which I'm at a B. So I'm not arguing the grade. I'm arguing your grading system, I guess.
Well, listen, I mean, every single.
So you want more out of him? No shit. Sidney Crosby wasn't Sidney Crosby his first couple years that he was.
What'd you give Okposo?
I gave Okposo a B plus.
Okay, I gave him a B. What'd you give Thompson?
I gave him an A minus.
I gave him a B plus. What'd you give Tuck?
I gave him an A.
I gave him a B plus. What'd you give Cousins?
I gave him a B.
I gave him a B minus. Every single goddamn mark right now, I've been under by literally either like an even or a half.
Because your grading system is all messed up.
Yeah. No, it's not. We're actually extremely close in our grading.
Yeah.
But I'm grading them harder than what you are. I am not going to give A's out unless they absolutely are knocking our socks off.
Okay. And you don't think Thompson and Tuck are doing that?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you this.
On this team, if they weren't doing that,
how many times have I watched Alex Tuck over the last number of years? 4 years ago, I said, oh my God, Petey, I don't know what we got to do, but we got to get Alex Tuck. We've got to get Alex Tuck. Remember that, Petey, that conversation? I love Alex Tuck. I've been watching him for years. There's certain teams that I have watched for years because I love certain players and I've keyed in on certain players. So I watch them more. I look at Alex Tuck right now and he's got 7 points in 7 games. He's got 2 goals. I look at him. He is not where he needs to be. He has more to give. And I'm not giving him an A until I am blown away.
Just came back in January from a friggin' long-term injury. So I think with where he's at and what he's done and how he's handled everything, he's in the A column.
Let's just give him all day long. Everybody an A. Well, everybody should get an A.
Okay, let's rip through these guys. Peyton Krebs, too small of a sample size, 6 games, 2 assists.
Yeah, I had a question mark because I don't have.
I have him as a C.
Okay, you can grade him.
I have him as a C with what in the games that I've watched, his skating, his puck moving ability, his defensive play. Does he give away the pucks? All those things. He's a C. He's average. He's extremely young and green. But obviously he has an offensive flair to his game. He sees the game very well. He's going to be a work in progress.
Okay. Next on the list, Rasmus Asplund.
C minus.
C. I had C.
Well, there we go. We're bang on there, Gio. Moving on.
Krebs. So you actually gave Krebs a C. We said too small sample size.
Yeah.
Craig, you said C minus. Gio, you said C. I gave him a D. Turns away from too many hits. Murray, too small sample size. Although I've been happy. I've liked Murray.
Yep.
I mean,
I had him as a B minus.
Yeah, for a big guy, I mean, I like what he's been able to do. I love Riv's face there. Too small sample size for you, Riv?
No, he's played 18 games. He's got 2 goals and 6 points. He's -3. My conversations with this young man is I know that he has the ability to make plays. Okay, he's a very, very big man. 6'5", 236 pounds. This player, if he is not having closed meeting discussions with the coaches, I don't care if it's with Matt Ellis, I don't care if it's with Don Granato or whoever the forward guy is, if they are not having a private conversation with Brett Murray, then I am dumbfounded. We do not need another wizard dangling around, saucering passes with super awesome hockey IQ. We need certain types of players, not all the same.
You want him to be a thundering body?
I want him to be frickin' heavy. I also want him to have a little bit of nasty to him.
I agree.
Nobody in this league knows who Brett Murray is.
Whoa. You agree, Petey?
I agree with that aspect of it. Yeah. I mean, I like I said to you, I've liked him, but there was one element that I would have liked, and that would be a little bit more, I don't want to use the word aggression, but definitely, using his body more to lay guys out if he could, or finish checks, and, just,
I could see
just
him.
from that
Yeah,
aspect.
as long as you want him playing bigger, tougher, stronger, that's fine. Because you had said, right? Like, you came into the league, you were a skill guy, and it got sucked out of you. You know what I mean?
Well, I wasn't a skilled guy, but I mean, I was
in junior, when you went to junior,
I was
have been
guided down a path.
Yeah. So
and told.
So is that the slippery slope? Is that the slippery slope because he's 6'5", 240, as opposed to 5'11"?
Well, I mean, maybe we could have another Dustin Penner on our hands. Dustin Penner was huge. Yeah, I mean, Dustin Penner was huge. He wasn't necessarily the most physical guy in the world, but he scored a lot of goals. So I mean, if that's what you're looking at for a guy like this, I mean, then
I think what you do if he's not that type of player, you look to move him for that type of player and to a team that wants someone like him, right? So you're saying Tuck, you got Tuck, Thompson. I mean, you could even possibly throw Cousins a little bit in there as that kind of power forward type guy with skill, right? And so you don't need another one of those guys on your roster. That's what you're saying, Riz.
You absolutely
I'm saying
do. We don't have
want him, you want him to play harder like that is what you're saying, right?
So one of our players the other night got smoked by the boards. I can't remember who it was. Dylan Cousins came in there and cross-checked the guy from Detroit right away. Boom. There was no fight that happened afterward. There's no fisticuffs, but it was a response to a response from another team. I want Brent Murray to skate around the ice and use his 6'5", 235-pound body and be very physical. He will add more time and space to his game by him playing a nasty physical game. Here's the thing. I saw him the other day. This is probably 1, maybe 2 games ago, where he got smoked by a defenseman. I think it was in Detroit. Do you remember that? Anyone?
I don't remember it. No.
Anyone? Defenseman for Detroit went and absolutely laid him out. Never even had the puck. Ended up getting a penalty for it. But I'm going to tell you right now, Brett Thompson should have been on the ice the very next shift when that kid was on and having Brett Murray and having a conversation. Do you understand? When he goes to the net, you go to the net and you don't just stop and everybody, disperses to their benches. And it's just, no, you go and you spray and you get in there and you give a guy a little shove. And if guy pushes you back, then you sit there and you're like, you know what? This is my territory, buddy. You know what I'm saying? There's no nastiness. There's no aggression. There's no physicality. We need Brett Murray not to play like he's 5'9" and 140 pounds.
So what'd you give him? You gave him a C? No, I'm asking, what was your grade on him?
I gave him a C+.
Okay. Well, I gave him B-.
I'm going to tell you right now.
We're right on.
Again, I'm going to tell you this. Brent Murray, to me, has a place on the Sabres if he can not change his game, evolve his game.
Okay.
I'm not asking him.
There is a difference. There's a big difference. That's kind of what I was looking for clarification. If you want
what's
to change
awesome
or
about
evolve.
Brett, you want Brent Murray to add to his game. And if you add to your game, you will have a spot in Buffalo. The way he plays right now, to me, he does not have a spot on this team moving forward. This is just me as GM Craig Rivet. Okay.
Well, and that's why you want those coaches to work with them to help evolve, not to change, to help evolve.
Yes.
To then help the team. I get that. So that's all I'm looking for.
You need to allow the Skinners, the Middlestats, the Tucks, the Thompsons, the Cousins, the Olofsons, the ability to go and play with their speed and their skill and add that offense. But then there's got to be the next group that play still with skill, because I'm going to tell you right now, you go and look at Brent Murray's statistics. Okay. Played in the USHL in 62 games. He had 41 goals, 76 points. Then he went to Rochester, played his very first year in Rochester, 55 games. He had 9 goals and 24 points. Here's the thing. If he does not add a physical element to his game, a nasty element to his game, no one fights in this game.
It's like, who has the most fights? That big to cut it on an NHL roster as a point guy.
He's not a point guy.
Right.
He is not a point guy, but let me tell you something.
He's a depth. I think he's a depth point guy.
He has got skills.
He's your third. That's your secondary scoring, your third line that is very good. Grinds,
and he's young.
Plays a good game and pitches in. He's not a point per game guy, no, but he's a guy that's going to get you 20 to 35 points a year as your secondary scoring.
But here's the thing: what's more important for him, not only to get that 20, 30 points, which is kind of like, to me, a fourth line guy, okay? But you need to add an element that the team needs. When you have guys taking liberties or hitting or even talking to Dahlin, I don't know if you guys watch Dahlin. I watch him a lot, okay? I watch him, and he is...
It's getting really hard to move on here.
He's playing well, it all adds in to what they're trying to accomplish here.
No, I know.
Dahlin is getting hit, and guys are chirping him and this and that. I mean, that's where Brett Murray's job is, to be on the ice, going to have conversations with the guys that are
if you don't have that already, no one's going to believe it if you just try to turn it on, unless I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know how many guys there are in the league like me, but there are still some tough players in the league. And like, if he starts yelling, I'm going to just shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. Like, sit down. You're not scaring anybody, and you're not fooling anybody. So I don't know. I don't know.
That's what's going to be said in today's game. You know how many guys are terrified of a guy like Murray? Well, they don't know who he is. He's got a great big huge beard.
I guess he's got to go and try and make a name for himself.
Oh, so he's got to make a name for himself. That's what I've just said for the past 40 minutes with this guy.
All right, we're good. We're good.
All right, we got it. All right,
listen, we'd like to challenge you.
He's exactly what we want. He's got the size.
Okay, McLovin.
He can skate. He can move the puck. He's got skills. But if he adds to his game where he starts to crank some bodies, he starts to get into some scrums and grabs the guy who's out of the pile and gives them a beating, this guy's elevated his game to a completely different level in this league.
Okay. Mark Jankowski, is it John Hayden? John Hayden.
Jankowski, I had too small sample size. Okay. Hayden.
He's done his job. I'm not going to criticize. It's a hard job. He's not expected to go out and provide points. I mean, he's done his job. I mean, I'm not going. And after last night's game against,
would you consider his job like a B-, C?
I give him a B plus. I mean, it's not an easy job to go out and fight at the start of a game against San Jose, to be required every night to provide. To provide physicality, and some nights be the only guy on the ice that is required to have any kind of energy.
John Hayden would be so much tougher if it was through committee.
Right.
Do you understand?
I agree. Oh, yeah.
Understand what I mean by that, Gio?
100%. Yeah. He's not the isolated guy.
Yes.
He's got 3-4 guys that are pushing and shoving you at all times. He's not the only one doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it strengthens the group. It strengthens him. It strengthens everything.
Like, I look at John Hayden and I'm like, I've watched him fight a few times. He handles himself very well. He's a very big man. He's a strong kid. I wouldn't say that he's necessarily a great fighter. Okay. He's a gamer. And I'm going to tell you, you need guys like that in your lineup. You need guys like that to understand that he skates well. He actually moves the puck well. He understands and thinks the game well. Now, in order for him to be in this league for literally 10 more years, is for him to hit with some aggression, for him to do what he did last night to protect a teammate and stick up for a teammate. And if he does that, he'll be in this league for 10 years.
I don't know. I don't know how long he could be in the league for, but I can speak to, by committee tough guy. Just quickly, I just remember Eric Bolton, myself, and Adam Merrill were aligned here. Yeah. And then, the next year, Eric Bolton's not here. And, Mersey's tough, but he's not fighting the guys that I'm fighting. And when you're solo taking on those guys or talking to those guys, adds a bit of a
100%.
different kind of mentality to it when you're, when you don't have anyone to ride shotgun with. So
listen, it's the same as a goal scorer, right? He's going to be way better when he's supported. There's other guys scoring goals. He's going to be more productive. Just
I can't speak to that, but I can definitely imagine.
What I'm saying is, like, you talk about Eichel in the past being the only guy that's scoring. He has no support, and he expected to do it every single game, all game. It's the same with you as when you lost your depth in the chart, right? Like you lost your Bolton. So now all of a sudden it was on you every single day, every night, everything. And it just becomes harder and harder to do that every day, every game.
Yep. That sums it up for the forwards. Do we want to do the defense right now, or?
Yeah, we can do a short, quick fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Well, let's start with obviously Rasmus Dahlin. I'm very curious, Riv, to know what your grade is for him.
I have him down as B+. I think Rasmus Dahlin has continued to improve his game. He's taken on a bigger role this year than what he's ever taken on in his career. He's playing upwards of some nights he's playing 25, 27 minutes a night. And on this team, that is not an easy task. Okay. His ability to move the puck and his poise with the puck, I would have to put up in the top 5 defensemen in the National Hockey League. The way he distributes the puck, his poise on the blue line is just absolutely incredible.
What about his defensive play?
His defensive play, playing on this team in particular, some nights has been a little bit of an eyebrow raise, but for the most part, I think that he's done an admirable job continuing to get better each and every night. He is never going to be, a defenseman that you would be putting on the ice at the end of the game to, shut down a 3-2 game. There going to be other players in your lineup that I think will be in that situation. But if you need a goal, he's going to be on the ice. He's incredible.
Gio.
So for me, I have him as a B+, because he's taken on a major role on that back end.
I have him as a C. I have him defensively in the low Ds and offensively B to B+. So he's a C player. He's average. You know what I mean? Like, he's good in some things and he's very bad at other things. And so he's average. And so on this team defensively, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be extremely hard. You're putting him into Ristolainen type stuff coming out, right? Like, he's relied on way too much defensively. Offensively, he's got some skills, but for me, he's just average. He's C. You want way more out of him. He's your number 1D. He's a first overall pick. You want way more out of him than what he's able to give you whole picture. You can't isolate the game like that. That he's dynamic offensively, but bad defensively. Well, is he making you better or is he making you worse? What's he making you? He's just average for him.
So I it's interesting. I had him as a B-, and I only put him as a B- because he's going to the All-Star game. I don't want to give him the B's. I can't believe he's going to the All-Star game. I mean, but that's what happens when you have to send, one player from each team. I mean, as advertised at the draft, I thought he would have been, I don't care what the team is, I thought he would have been light years ahead of where he is. I mean, I did not think that the defensive struggles for this player would be so glaring. And what is he, in his fourth year? He's in his fourth year now?
Yeah.
And I mean like as glaring now as they were his first year. So, I mean, there's been no progress in the defensive side of his game. And are we relying on him to be a defensive player? He's
playing more minutes, okay? He's playing more minutes than he's ever played before, okay? He's on a team that is when we're talking about a transition, this is a team that is in a major transition, and we're having
Riv,
young
come on,
players.
man. Come on. Let's be honest here.
Top players is out.
Did you see
Casey Middlestat?
See the one goal against Detroit? Just didn't even touch the guy at the side of the net. He's not alert. He has no defensive awareness at all. He is a puck watcher. And that is bad. That is very, very bad for this hockey team because it still hasn't broken that habit.
Like I said before, Rasmus Dahlin, when you go and look at his minutes played throughout the entire season, okay? He started the season, no Casey Middlestat, no Alex Tuck, Peyton Krebs wasn't in the lineup. We had a mismatch of guys that were just it was not a strong hockey team, okay? He has gotten better from the start of the year to now. He's playing more minutes. He's playing very tough minutes. He's being put in all situations to learn. Is he going to make mistakes? Yes, he is. That being said, you have to give this kid an opportunity to make mistakes. He's making the mistakes. Hopefully he can continue. He's not going to be a great defensive player. Okay. He's never going to be but can he be solid, but with elite skill? For me, like I just told you, he's going to be in a situation in years to come where he is not going to have to play those insanely tough minutes defensively because that's going to be on someone else. Just like last night, Matthias Samuelsson, who's 6'5", 230, I thought he played lights out. Lights out. He's defensively responsible. He's in the right position all the time. He is not a bone-crushing hitting defenseman, but he's a body separator. His first pass is incredible. He played the most minutes on the D last night. He played 22 minutes. Rasmus Dahlin played 19:32. Who was on the ice at the end of the game?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think your ceiling for him is a Carlson-like mentality. But Carlson's on the ice at the end of the game. He was never a defensive-minded defenseman. He was a fourth forward every time he stepped on the ice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so that's what you want from Dahlin, but I still think he's average. He hasn't taken the steps. He doesn't give you enough offensively yet to make up for his defensive lapses. So that's it makes you want him more.
But it coincides with the strength of the team, Gio.
I don't
come on, man. Do you actually think that Rasmus Dahlin's been put in a situation? How many points do you think? He's got what, 22 or 23 points, okay? Rasmus Dahlin on this team here has that many points. How many points would he have on Colorado? How many points would he have on Tampa Bay, Washington, Carolina, Florida? Those teams are in different transitions. They are Tampa Bay was terrible years ago. And now they're reaping the benefits of a long list of Hedman, Stamkos, Kucherovs, and building. And now they're at a great position. Could you imagine Rasmus Dahlin on one of those teams? He'd be plus 12 and he'd have a point a game. He is on a team that literally has no guys that can score goals. They just got back Alex Tuck. They've had Casey Middlestat out all year. Now you're relying on a 20-year-old Dylan Cousins to produce points? This team is not a good hockey team. they're not good defensively either. So we can't sit there and look at Rasmus Dahlin and be like, well, he's not good defensively and he's not good offensively.
Yeah, we
can.
Points. Yeah, we can. Yes, we can. And let me tell you why. Because don't you need him to know how? Like, I'm not seeing any kind of certainty or comfort in the fact that I think he's going to be able to defend plays well in the defensive zone. I mean, none. Like, I mean,
on plays that are, listen, there's breakdowns and there's things that put him in a bad position, but on clear, easy reads, Petey, you're saying he just doesn't make the right read where it's on him. It's not on the team as a whole. It's on him making a simple, easy read on a 3-on-2 or
take the Tampa Bay play, Corey Perry's goal. I'm just, this is recall on my end. Corey Perry's goal, standing at the side of the net, and Dahlin watches the pass go past his partner, past him, and right onto Corey Perry's stick, and boop, just pops it in. And you're just kind of like.
And what goal was that? Number 5 or 6?
I think it was number 4.
Number 4.
What does it matter what goal it was? Fuck, are you going to?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it's goal number 7, so we don't have to give a shit anymore? I don't understand what does that mean?
Because Rasmus Dahlin has insane amount of pressure to be on the ice and play against the top players and try and shut them down, which our team in general is a struggle of shutting down top teams. But he's also he's thinking on offense. We're down 4-1 right now. I got to produce offense. I mean,
on a good team, he's going to have to play against good players.
Yeah,
he's going to have those same matchups, whether he's on a good team or a bad team.
So you're saying that if he's on a better team, Craig, he doesn't make those same simple mistakes
Yes.
I don't buy that.
Of recognizing it where everyone is on the ice. You need to have player awareness away from the puck, not just. That's hockey, man. I don't know. That's why I give him a C. He needs to be better.
It sounds like Gio wants to move on. And we do need to move on as we have just ripped through time on this. But okay, so, Will Butcher. Will Butcher, D.
I had him at a C+.
Okay. I had him at a C-, but whatever. I mean, we're all kind of in the same ballpark. Henry Yoki Harju.
He is literally a placeholder.
Stopgap.
Period. Stopgap.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Henry Yoki Harju.
C. Average.
Very average. Yep. Okay. Just solid. Just average. He's not physical. He's not offensive. He's not. I wouldn't say he's not defensive, but he's not defensive. He basically is just kind of like a guy that he skates well. He moves the puck well. He's okay.
Okay. Bob Hagg. Robert Hagg.
C.
Not as advertised. I mean, I was expecting a more physical type player.
I was expecting a more physical player, but you got to remember, Robert Hagg on Philadelphia was like their 6th defenseman, right?
Yeah.
And we acquired their 6th defenseman, and he's kind of that position on our team. And future wise, there is no future. I don't see him coming back at all.
Mark Pesic. He's in the C's for me.
I got him a B.
Yeah, I'll give him a B.
He is what he is as a player, where he is in his career. Good teammate, shows up and is decent every night. So I give him a B.
Great person, great man to have with your younger players. He is exactly what you want your younger players to be around. He seems, and from what I've heard, that he is an incredible man. He gives 110% every single game that he has played this entire year. Moving forward, could he be a 6th defenseman to play with a Matthias Samuelsson? Possibly. He has not hurt this team at all in his play. He's actually come and I think exceeded his expectation or our expectation. I think he's been very solid. So, interesting player, but he's played solid for this team.
Jacob Bryson.
Too small of a sample size for me. Absolutely exceptional skater. I just find that he gets knocked off the puck and cannot win any battles in front of the net or in the corners just because due to size.
Yeah, I think there you go. What you've talked about, Rivs, all along. Makeup of your team is going to make or break a player like Bryson. Player like Bryson, if you have the right type of D, he's a Rafalski-ish type skating defenseman, makes plays. If he's not in that good mix of defensive core, I think he gets exposed a little. So I think it's a little early sample size, but I'd say he's just a touch over average in the sense that he's a makeup of your team.
I told Petey that is he in my top 6 next year? He is not. Is he on my defense core? Yes. I think he's another player where he is an incredible young man. I think he works his ass off. He's got a great attitude. Do I see him as in my top 6 next year? I do not. But if someone is injured, he is in the lineup.
Colin Miller, I know he's on the injured reserve, but he has played, a number of games here, 32 games.
32.
So do we want to give him a grade, or are we going to give him a pass because he's on the IR? He'll be moved probably at the deadline, right?
Yeah, I'll give him a B-.
Yeah, he'll be a deadline move. Yeah, he'll be a deadline move. Something that I'll be happy for him. He's been in this struggle here with a great attitude, I think, for a number of years. I don't see him coming back whatsoever. And this is a player that Colin Miller is a good hockey player. He's a good defenseman, just not on our team. On our team, we need a different style of defenseman because we have the same. When you talk about Colin Miller, there's no difference between Colin Miller and Yoki Haru, Mark Pysyk, Bryson. They're all similar in their type of play. But he's been solid. He works his butt off. He plays physical. He's not even a physical player, but he plays physical for this hockey team, and he's done nice things. And I appreciate Colin Miller's work ethic throughout his time here. But he won't be back.
We're going to give the goaltenders all a pass because it's been tough sledding this year for the goaltending.
Got to give some praise to Doogie Howser, though.
Oh, we did at the start of the show.
Yeah, we should be finishing with him because he played fantastic last night, and I'm just really happy because his situation last year with this hockey team, and he finished exceptionally well, and it was just put a smile on my face, and then get him having another opportunity. I thought he looked great last night, so good for him.
We aren't going to finish with him. We're going to finish with Mattias Samuelsson. Just a quick, can't give him a grade, Riv, but I know that last night you were very impressed with his game.
Hey.
Guys played 2 games. He's already getting
shit. I don't care. I don't care if he plays half a game. It's his half a game. I'm going to tell you right now, they've done a great job in the minors. Seth Affert and Mike Weber in the minors, Mike Pekka, they're getting these guys ready. These guys are coming up. They're playing with confidence. Okay, and I'm going to tell you this: watching Mattias Samuelsson play, he's a kid. He's 21 years old. He's just like all these other guys that we talk about. They're so green. They're so young. But let me tell you something. When you watch him, and his size is unreal, but when you watch him skate, that's what puts a freaking smile on your face because he's 6'5", 235, 230.
Yeah.
And he's skating and so smooth. and his hockey IQ as a defender. He is using his body, his big body, to separate, to gain pucks. His first pass, I don't know if you guys watched the way he passed the puck. He is missiling passes around. Okay.
He snaps
the way
it.
I saw him the other day, which again put a smile on my face. There was a puck that went low to high in from one side to the other. It went low to high. And immediately before the puck got to the point, he was already going to his man to box that guy out in front of the net so he couldn't gain space in front of the net. These are things that I am like, oh my Lord.
But we can't ask Dahlin to do that, right, Craig? But on a good team, he would. Like, so sorry, I got it.
Listen, man. I mean, I've been hard on Dahlin. Don't sit there and shit my cornflakes. If you don't like Dahlin's game, then that's fine. I'm talking about what I see and what I'm going to see from Dahlin moving in 2 years from now. And I think that he is continuing to play more minutes. He's playing extremely tough minutes because the team's not very good. But as the team gets better and Dahlin continues to mature as a player, we are not going to be grading him like you guys gave him a C or whatever. That's fine. I respect that. But for me, I think that Dahlin is going to continue to get better. His skill set and his abilities to make plays is unbelievable. And I just think as we evolve as a defense core and we have Rasmus Dahlin, who's 21 years old, and Owen Power next year is going to be here. He's going to be, 20? And we have Matthias Samuelson's going to be 22. We got 3 kids. They're kids. They're under the age of 22, and all of them are going to be unbelievable.
Well, I'm going to shit all over your cornflakes. Then I'm going to use Gio's bidet.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like a Seinfeld episode, man.
Back around.
Bring it all the way back to the start. Last grade, Don Granato and the coaching staff. I like Donnie Granato. I go ahead, Gio.
I like them. I think they're doing a good job, man. They are limited and they are getting stuff out of some of these players that maybe you shouldn't. You know what I mean? And you look at progress, right? You look at Skinner has bounced back under these guys. Thompson has taken off. Okposo is being used right. Cousins is Gergensons is good. You're like, he's doing exactly what you want. Like that, for me, that's a measure of what the coaches are doing. Now, systems and all that, it's pretty much the same no matter what coach you get. It's a matter of what the players buy into as far as details and whether they do it or not. And I think they do. I think they care about I think the coaching staff is doing a good job getting the most out of this team. We said it at the beginning of the year that it was going to be an up and down year because of the inexperience. And that's what you're getting. But what you measure them on is how these players are progressing. And I think they're doing exactly what they need.
Anything to add to that, Riv? As I completely forgot Gergenson's on our grading list, by the way.
Coaching staff.
It was IR. Yeah, coaching staff. Go ahead.
A. It's the first one I'll give today. I ain't going to tell you this.
Hey, you just gave Murray one, didn't you?
No.
What'd you give him?
Who? Brett Murray?
Samuelson. Didn't you just give Samuelson an A?
Yeah, but he's not rated. He's not rated, but I'm going to tell you, I said this to Petey the other day. He will be in this lineup next year, and we will have 3 incredible left-handed shot defensemen in Power, Samuelson, and Dahlin, and we're going to be very happy with those 3 moving forward. But going back to the coaching staff, you know, they've put Jeff Skinner in a position to succeed. He is taken this on, and he has played well this year. They've taken Tage Thompson, which was the biggest eye opener of all time, and put him at center. Everybody's raising their eyebrows going, are these guys on drugs? Well, that's worked out because Tage Thompson has played exceptionally well for this team. Kyle Okposo is being put in situations to succeed because he's a hell of a hockey player. Okay. And
really smart player.
He's played very well. Dahlin, you saw Dahlin. Is he great every night? Hell no, he's not. Does he make mistakes? Yes, he does. But Don Granato is there to take the heat off and try and continue to keep this young person who's developing and going through tough times, not only by himself with himself and his game, but the team in general. Okay. And he's trying to keep this guy's confidence level high. Dylan Cousins continuing to move through, his game. I just find, with the debacle that we've seen with the goaltending and not having literally an NHL goaltender in front of our guys. I mean, what are we on? Number 5?
6
goaltender, number 5 or 6. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I look at this and I say, Don Granato and his coaching staff have done an incredible job continuing to stay the course, keep these young guys confident. When you guys know when you're having fun, you can't wait to get to the rink and you don't want to leave. Yeah. And that's the environment that Don Granato is building right now for the Buffalo Sabres. They're not the greatest team in the league, but I'm telling you right now, they're continuing to do the right things. And, I really like the direction of how he's taking this team, and this team will turn around. And you can see it already. You can see it already with the additions of adding Alex Tuch. Right?
I liked his demeanor. I mean, I don't know about there are nights where I think his team has come out flat. I don't know if that's on him or if that's just the gap in time. I mean,
he can't play.
I give him a B+.
He can't play,
but
Petey.
But he can motivate. I'm giving him a B+. I mean, it's not like I'm giving him a C.
I can't believe you didn't give him an A.
And I'll say this. I said it to you last week, Riv, and I believe this. He only has to get his message through to about 7 or 8 of these guys, because that's all he has that are going to be here in the next year, after that. So, he still has a full influx of players that are going to come in that he still has to coach, but he has to get these guys here now that are going to be the core going forward, playing the right way. I think he's done that. Gio, did you give a grade yet?
Yeah, I said, I didn't give the exact grade, but I said I liked everything they did. So an A, I think they're doing an exceptional job.
Yep.
So yeah, it's an A for me. I don't think I gave the exact. I just said that they're doing awesome.
All right. Well, on that note, gentlemen, this has been a long one. Gio, how did you miss your yoga class?
Yeah, you really ruined my week. Tight hips all week now.
Well, my watch is telling me I got to move. Literally has buzzed 3 times like,
Get your ass up.
You might want to move, fat boy. All right, gentlemen. Thanks for the time, Gio. We'll talk to you guys later.
This was great, guys. Yep.
That's a wrap on another episode of After the Whistle. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, After the Whistle, and at Craig Rivet 52, at the Instigator 76. And you can find us, as you already know, on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, and anywhere else where you can get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to spread the word.